And lastly, we come to the drawing part. So the basic questions, the common tips and tricks that you need to keep in mind while doing the drawing part is, first, you need to understand what the question demands. This is a basic mistake that people do, that they tend to read through the question so fast that they don't understand what the question is demanding. Second is, they have an inability to draw from memory, and this is not something that you can cultivate in one class or in one session or reading one question. This is something that you have to keep delving into. The third is the lack of sense of perspective, a perspective like a 1-point perspective, a 2-point perspective, because in a lot of cases it's demanded in the question that you need to be drawing it from this perspective. And the last is the inability to sketch a balanced composition. So this is the major thing that the examiner will be looking at, as to if the student understands the composition if he is created, will it make sense to anybody else looking at it? Does the objects he is drawn, does it exhibit his knowledge of the object? Does it exhibit his knowledge of looking at things from different perspectives? So that is everything that they'll be looking into. So first is the tips and tricks that I have studied or I have learned throughout my preparation was, first, note down the deliverables. So this is a very basic normal question that's been addressed or that's been given a lot of times. So if you read the question, it says, imagine that your size has been reduced significantly and you are standing in a pencil box that has 3 pencils, 1 sharpener, 1 compass, 1 piece of paper and 1 eraser and 1 fountain pen. So read the question carefully. What all is it demanding? Now you need to draw something that you would see standing inside the pencil box with the help of the lid of the box open. So this is the question. Now let's try to break it into parts. So the first thing we have to note down is what all are the requirements that need to be drawn. So that includes the pencil box. Inside the pencil box there will be 3 pencils, 1 sharpener, 1 compass, 1 fountain pen. You are standing inside the pencil box and the pencil box's lid is open. So these are the basic requirements. Second, decide a clear sense of perspective. So for that, you need to understand what perspective he's asking for. So your size has been reduced significantly and you're standing inside. That means it will be a perspective where you're really small and you have to understand how the environment will look. Now a basic thing that you can do for all these exercises, even when you're not drawing, is you take a look at these objects when you can. So for example, if this is a pencil box, you need to look at it from that perspective and understand what the planes would be. If I place few things on it, how will it look? It will help you to recollect all of these objects when you have to draw it from memory, because the number of situations that the examiner can give you is innumerable. You need to be having an understanding of how will an object look. And these objects will mostly have similar planar structures, a rectangle, a square, a circle. So you will be able to imagine and draw anything if you have a basic understanding of the planar visions. Thirdly, you have to draw a rough composition to assess the composition. So you have to draw this rough sketch, and believe me, it works wonders. Once you have drawn this composition and you know how the objects are being placed, where you want to keep what, if you want to draw something interesting in that, maybe one of the pencil is really small, maybe the pencil is attached with the compass. So all of these small nitty-gritties will help the examiner assess that you have an understanding that one object can be used in different ways, one composition can be made in different ways. So this, for example, is a quick sketch that I drew that literally took me 2 minutes. Not even that much, and it gives me a basic understanding that okay, this is how the plane will look, this is how I will have to address this question, this is how all the things will be placed inside the box, and this will be my view. This is very, very quick, just a pencil sketching drawing that you can do maybe at the end of the rough sheet that you're given, so which will give you an understanding of how you want to draw this. Lastly, decide how many elements are too many elements. So if you're given this and you think that maybe it's not enough and the composition is looking very empty and I want to put in more objects, even then you need to be aware that how much of it will make the composition too crowded. If it's too crowded and the examiner is not able to see anything, then there's no point of drawing that composition. He'll be assessing you on how you want to, he'll look at you as if you want to finish up all the space, because as important as the composition is, there is also an importance of the white space, the void that you leave in the composition. So understanding that, this is the final drawing that I have drawn. This is one of my sketches that I drew in my Nata paper. So give the shading as and when required. That is something that you can look at afterwards, the light and shadow. The first and foremost is to understand the planar perspectives. So even if you see this, you'll understand that there are a few mistakes that I have made, because the box cannot be so big. Pencil boxes are not that high, they need to be a little lower. Then maybe the shadow that I've given for the sharpener is a little wrong. The scale might have a little problem with the light and shadow, but in all, the composition is very balanced. It looks like it's been drawn after it is well thought. So this is the basic thing the examiner will be looking into, and that you have to give it to him. You have to avoid the mistakes that we did, but you have to learn how to draw this composition correctly. So this is one example, and we'll be sharing with you a lot of different examples. We'll be giving you assignments, assessing how you're looking at things, what progress you have made if you go for the sessions. And last and foremost advice is don't dwell too much into one sketch, because you're given a very limited time. You have to draw 3 compositions. It's better that you draw all these compositions first and you go for the light and shadow and testing and everything later on, because that will give you much more time to assess on one thing, to work on one thing after the basic compositions have been created. So that is my advice. You can look at it differently if you're able to manage your time finishing all these sketches in a particular given time frame. So these are the requirements, these are the tips and tricks that you need to keep in mind if you're preparing for a NATA exam. And if you tend to go for the outline for the course that we are introducing, so this is the basic outline. The first 2 sessions will be an introductory session about the paper, the sessions about the paper, the general framework, the questions, the kind of questions that will be coming, and the general context of the paper. Another 3 sessions, the other 3 will be about the aptitude paper. We'll be addressing questions that are generally coming in those papers. What are the things that you need to keep in mind when you're looking at all of them? What are the tips and tricks that you need to take in mind? How do you read 2D and 3D projections? Because that is a favorite question. And this is a question that will set the basic for what you do further in architectural colleges, because they take a lot of importance in making you understand 2D and 3D projections. The other 3 will be focused on the drawing, which will be the 2D, 3D drawings, both focusing on memory sketching, imaginary sketching, breaking the objects into parts, looking at the object from different views, how to make a balanced composition. So all of that will be focused in these 3 sessions. And lastly, the 2 sessions will be how do you choose an architectural college and the future opportunities and trajectories in architecture. So this is the tentative course outline. We can shift it or make it more or less depending on what you need, what more thing requires more work. If you think aptitude papers require a little more in observation, then we can do the same. But this is the tentative thing. So thank you everyone for joining this session, and if you want to register for the course, this is the link that you can take. I'll be putting it down in further posters as well. So thank you.